I'm 100 miles north of Missouri, 40 miles west of the Mississippi River. In October 1853, the farmer who owned this land hid 3 slaves on the way to Canada. For the past year, I've been finding and painting landscapes of Underground Railroad sites. Only a handful of houses and barns used in Iowa's Underground Railroad still stand. Deep in these woods, this is one of them. Bound up in secrecy, many stations were never documented, so forgotten, and not memorialized. To find this one, a local historian and I looked through old land deeds. The State Historical Society of Iowa knew of the Samuel Ewell barn from documents and journal entries, but assumed it was long ago demolished. The Department of Conservation, who owns these woods, knew of a dilapidated structure, but didn't know who had owned it or its significance. We put the pieces together. I walked into the woods with this old photo of the Ewell farm in my pocket. I found the barn on a late winter day. Iowa. It was America's westernmost free state, crucial for passage from Missouri to the Mississippi River and northward after the Fugitive Slave Act passed in 1850. Hundreds of Iowans outfitted their houses with secret crawl spaces and tunnels leading to cellars. For helping slaves, these Quaker farmers were sued, shot at, and sent death threats. One night in 1850, a group of Missouri men brought a cannon to a small town in Iowa and aimed it at the house where Iowans were housing escaped slaves. To get to the Ewell barn, I crossed the Cedar River, forded by slaves, headed for Chicago. Not far from here, a farmer put an iron chair on the roof of his barn to keep watch as slaves were ushered through the landscape. His house, the barn, and the chair were all gone, cleared to make way for cornfields. Samuel Ewell made sure his wife and children never saw the slaves. His wife only noted that he went to the barn with a basket full of food and returned with the basket empty. October 30th, 1853, Ewell's journal entry reads, 3 men were at my house, but ran away from Missouri. Hid all day in the barn. Got supper, and James' cousins took them to Fairview, Jones County. It seems these farmers will mostly be forgotten. Near the Missouri border, there's a Little League field built over the foundation of a house of an abolitionist who helped escape slaves all year. The house where John Brown stayed in West Branch is a private residence, redone with linoleum floors. South of West Branch, Black Angus cattle stand by the foundation of J.D. Lewis's former home, which had an underground room connected by a tunnel to a cellar to conceal slaves during the daylight hours. It doesn't seem right to document these sites with a camera. The painting memorializes them, as a statue or plaque might do, to pay tribute to the farmers, what they risked, and to those passing through. Here is a disappearing history that was never really documentable to begin with. It was meant to be secret. Why is this project so much more haunting than the storybook version of the Underground Railroad I learned about in school? The one with the moss on the north-facing parts of trees. The one with a star. The one memorialized in textbooks not decaying deep in the woods.